Hello friends, today's our topic is games and tournaments under data interpretation. There are certain concepts which we need to understand in games and tournaments. You can see I have classified them into four. The first one, table-based games and tournaments. An incomplete score table or board will be given to you. Let us have a quick example on this. Imagine there is a World Cup going on or Asia Cup is going on, in which there are 5 teams or 5 countries are participating. India, Pakistan, China, Bangladesh and Japan. And for these teams, the scoreboard is given to you, which is partially filled. What are the main headings of the board or the table? The main headings are number of wins, number of loss, number of points scored against all other teams, and number of points scored against you also will be given to you, along with total points on the basis of which you will be qualifying for the next round. But the table is not complete. Few other hints will be given to you, like if you win the match you will be getting 2 points, if you lose a match you will get 0, and if it is a draw you will be getting 1 point as the point system given to you. On the basis of point system, you will be qualifying for the next round. Something like that data is given, and some other hints are given, like India has won against Bangladesh, Pakistan has lost against China, kind of an information can be provided. On the basis of which you have to complete the table and then answer the questions. That is your first type of concept. Second one, multiple round tournament. This is also called as round robin tournaments. In this, as you see, the name itself says multiple round tournaments. Means there will be certain stages of the tournament. Like you can take an example of IPL or Cricket World Cup, you can take it. If there are 14 teams playing or participating for the tournament, they are divided into 2 pools where it is called as a qualifying round or a stage round where you need to qualify it. Now in this there will be certain rules set. There will be a match conducted between 2 teams. If a team wins it will get 2 points, if it loses it will get 0 points, and if it is a draw there is 1 point. This will be basically an elimination round. On the basis of the points scored by the team, you will be qualified for the next round. Now the next round can be a quarter final. After that there can be a semi-final. After that there can be a finals. Now quarter final, semi-final and finals, all these 3 can be a knockout, but the first elimination round will be based on the point system. Now that is called multiple round tournament. The next one is called knockout tournaments. Now we all know knockout tournaments means if you lose a match in any stage or at any stage, you will be out of the tournament. There can be some stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, stage 6, like that. And the last 3 stages can be called in reverse as finals, semi-finals and quarterfinals. Now all the entire tournament will be a knockout basis. Whether you lose a match in the first round or second round or third round, or maybe you lose a match in quarterfinal, semi-final, you will be out of the tournament. Now that is what is called knockout tournament here. There is no point system. Straight away you need to win the match. That is what is called knockout tournament. And under miscellaneous type, I see one of the type of problems here is called pickup of a coins. Now pickup of a coins will be, there will be few coins placed on the table. There will be 2 players and their game is to pick up the coins from the table. And there will be certain conditions. The conditions will be like a maximum 5 coins can be picked up, minimum 1 coin have to be picked up. That means you can pick up from 1 or 2 coins or 3 coins or 4 coins or 5 coins from the table. It is up to you. Opponent also have the fair chance of picking up the coins. You need to pick up the coins till the end, and whoever picks up the last coin, he will be the loser of the game. So you need to manage in such a way that you have to make sure that the opponent should be left with only coin so that he can lose the match and you can win the match. So that will be a very interesting kind of a topics here. Games and tournaments is also very interesting and very logical type of sets. This will be given like a caselet. I'll show you an example here. You can see in this example, this is given like a caselet. Caselet means you can call it as a small paragraph of content is given to you along with some extra informations to crack the entire set. You need to understand, you need to interpret this, you need to understand and then finish doing the problems. End up with doing the problems here. So we need to interpret this. So I'll give you a few seconds to read this. You can pause my video, read this and then let us answer the questions for this. Hope you understood this given passage. Ravi Shastri is the coach. He got 5 players information who are Indian players. Kaif, Rahul, Saurav, Virendra, Yuvraj, which is short form as KRSVY. In these triangles, 3 top batsmen scores are given to us. Like Y means Yuvraj. Yuvraj has scored 40. Virendra has scored 130 and Kaif has scored 20 against Pakistan, and they 3 together have scored 90% of the total score of that match. That is how the things are. Next match against South Africa, Kaif has made 51, Saurav has made 75, Rahul has made 49 and their 3 total will be 70% of the total we have. Next is 80% total the top 3 batsmen have made against Australia, where Rahul has scored 55, Yuvraj has scored 87 and Saurav has scored 50. So this is what the table is given to us, and based on this you can see there are 5 players. These 5 players total scores and all that thing, these are the top 3 players of the matches given to us, and based on which there are certain table can be made. Now here if you observe there are 2 other things also I have mentioned in this. Overall if you observe there is R index, you can see this line over here, it's an R index given to us here, R index, and M index is given to us and they're defined also. What is R index? It's a difference between the highest score and the least score of the match. Second, what is M index? Is the middle value. It's a middle value or middle number of the score made by the player. For example, now Yuvraj is playing 3 matches. What is the middle score? Nor the highest nor the least. The middle one is what is called as M index of the player. We need to get it of the 3 matches played by the player. So likewise we need to make a table here now. On the basis of the information which is given in the triangles, we got the total. You can see against Pakistan the total is 198. The total of South Africa by the top 3 players is 175, which is 70% of that match. Australia top 3 batsmen has made 192, which is 80%. Now with the reference of these, can we find out the total of the match? We can say 90% is equivalent to 198. You can do it like this. 90% is equivalent to 198. Then 100% is how much? This is what you need to do it. Now this will be 100% as 220. I'll get it. Next, 70% represents 175. If 70% represents 175, then 100% is how much? If you see, if you calculate, this will come around 250. And the last one, 80% is equal to 192, then the total will be 240 is what I get here. I got the totals for us. Now, listen to this very carefully all of you. How much can be these numbers? The remaining numbers, we need to complete the table, and accordingly we need to see what is M index and what is R index for the game. Now, how to find out these other numbers is the major target for us. Okay. So let us see what are the numbers can be possible here. If you look at the total, what I got here, 198. For the top 3 numbers, I got 198. What is the leftover? You see, 220 minus 198. The other 2 players have to make 22 more, right? So I can say I exactly don't know what is R value and what is S value for against Pakistan, but I'm pretty sure that it will be from 0 to 22. So I'll take this as 0 to 22 can be scored by R. Same 0 to 22 can be scored by Saurav also. Now coming to the other numbers here. The top 3 total we have got it as 175, but the total score is 250. So you can say a difference of 75 is coming here. So this can be 0 to 75. But can I take 75 is the point. If I take 75, Viru can score maximum up to 75. Imagine Yuvraj is scoring 0. So Viru can score up to 75, which is false. Because top 3 you see. So the other players, we need to also make sure that, see for example in this first case, the least of the top 3 we got it as 28. So the other 2 players cannot make 28 or above 28 for sure. Anything less than 28 was fine. So 0 to 22 anything will be fine for both of them. But the total have to be a difference of 22. That we need to understand. Same thing applies over here also. You can see the difference is coming as 75. So these two together have to make 75. But I cannot take 0 to 75 here because Viru have no chance of scoring up to 75. Top 3 numbers are 51, 49, 75. Least of them is 49. So the other 2 have to make less than 49. So here 0 to 48 I can say here 0 to 48. So he has no chance of going for 49 or above 49 for sure. So that is what we need to remember in this case. Now here the total you can see is 192 and the difference is coming as something like 48. Now here I can take 0 to 48 because 48 is less than the least of the top 3 numbers. And here 0 to 48 I can take it here in this case. Okay. So this is what the table is all about. And based on the table, I can now answer the questions. But for that, I need to know what is M index and R index is what we need to know. R index is range index. Range means the least to the highest numbers difference is called R index. And what is the mid index here? Mid index is exactly the middle number possible for that. Okay. So let us get mid index numbers for us. Let us make mid index numbers. Here the least of the number if I consider as 0 to 48, this 28 falls between 0 to 48. So this number could be 28, above 28 or below 28. This we have 28 and this we have 51. For sure highest number is 51, but what can be a middle number? Please understand, if this number is below 28, then 28 will be the middle number, M index. If this is also 28, which is not possible because the direction says that all the numbers are different numbers, so it is not possible. But anything above 48, then this number will be the mid index number in that case. So I cannot find mid index exact value over here. First one. Second one here in this case, the least 49 and 55. You can see in all these 3 numbers, if I even take 22 here, definitely 49 will be the middle number in this case. So what is mid-x here? 49. I can definitely say 49 is going to be the mid-x number in this case. Next one, again the least value can be between 0 to 22. It cannot go beyond 22 for sure. And other numbers are 75 and 50. You can say the middle number will be definitely 50. It cannot go less than 22 for sure. So here I can find M index value or middle number as 50 for sure. Next, 0 to 48, 0 to 48. I don't know exactly what will be the number over here, isn't it? Exactly which will be the middle of these two, don't know. What is the value of middle one? We don't know. So here M index value we cannot say in this case. Next 40, 0 to 48, 87. You can see 40 again falls between 0 to 48. So here the number can be less than 40 or equal to 40 or greater than 40 can be possible. So exactly the number here will be less than 40 or greater than 40. We can't say. So M index value we cannot find out. So suppose if there is a question, how many M index numbers we can find out, then I can certainly say there are 2 cases where I can say M index number is possible in that case. Okay. Similarly, we can find the R index numbers also. Now, as we discussed, R index is the difference between the highest to the least value of the 5 players here we have. Like we are talking about Khaif in that case, first one. I don't know exactly what is the least value from here. The least value may be 28 or maybe even less than that or greater than that for sure. Now imagine if I take 0 as the least, this will be from 0 to 48. If I take 0 as the least, 0 is the least, 51 is the highest. So the difference, highest difference will be 51 in that case. Now please understand, I took 0 as the lowest value, then I got highest value is 51. Difference between 0 and 51 is the highest difference which I can get. Now here it can be 48 or you have 28 in between 0 to 48. So as I said, this number could be anything between 0 to 48, but 28 can be any number falling between them. So this number would be less than 28 or about 28 also possible. Now I can take up to 28 here. If I say anything above 28, the difference will be less. I want the highest differences to come here, fine? So if it is 28, then 51 and 28, the difference is supposed to be something like 23. So this is 23, what I say. So you can say the M index or R index will be from 23 to 51. How I got these numbers? Let us check once again here. If I take it a line here, this is starting from 0, then 28, then 51 as 3 numbers if I take. 0 to 51, the least to highest difference is 51. Then 28 to 51, the difference is 23. So this is 51, this is 23. So this will be ranging between 23 and 51 since I don't know the exact lowest value in this case. Highest I know, but exact lowest value which I don't know. Coming to next one. If I talk about here you see 0. Let us take one more here, 0. The highest number I can see is 55. This is 55 here. And this number 49 is the one we have. I know the least number will be between 0 to 22. So I'll mark here as 22. Now the least number here can be 0 to 22, any number. So again I get a range here. This will be a 55, which is the highest value, and this one will be 33. So it is 33 to 55 as a range we get it here. Okay. Next one, 75 is the highest. Least can be 0 or 22. So again, here I get 75, and if I consider 22 and 75 will be 53 as a value. This will be 53 in that case. So here R index will be from 53 to 75. Next one, 130 is the highest. 0 to 130, 130 can be the value, and if I take 48 to 130, the difference will be 82. So here it is 82 to 130. And the last one here, 87 is the highest. 0 to 87, you get 87. And the least difference, here you see 48. 40 falls between 0 and 48. If I take 40 and 48, comparatively 48 is lower. So 40 and 87, the difference is 47 we have here. So I got R index numbers. Now based on what all the information we gathered here, completing the table, based on that we need to answer the questions. So let us see what are the questions given to me and then search the answers accordingly. Okay. So here the first question, for how many Indian players it is possible to calculate the exact M index? So if you see the previous slide, exact M index I got it for 2 of the people, other 3 I could not get it. So answer is 2. So I can say 2 is the exact answer over here. So option 3 is my answer for this. Next one, among the players mentioned, who can have the lowest R index from the tournament? Lowest R index from the tournament. Now, what are the names if you see the options? Khaif, Rahul and Yuvraj. Khaif, Rahul and Yuvraj. I'll take Khaif, Rahul and Yuvraj. Here you tell me who has got the least R index. See the question once again. Lowest R index is the question. Lowest R index is the question. Okay, among the 3. You can see in the other options also we have only Khaif, Yuvraj, Rahul, only 3. So I need to study only 3 out of the table. Now in this, who is the least, lowest R index number? Here the lowest R index number is 23. You can say here it is 33 to 55. The next one, here we have the last one 47 to 87 as the numbers. Now who is the lowest value here? Suppose if I consider, please understand, I don't know the exact value 23 to 51. Now 51 can fall in between this also. Imagine if Khaif number is something between 23 to 51, I take 34. If Khaif number is 34, then Rahul can be the lowest, right? So like that, if you see here, if I take Rahul's number as 48, then Yuvraj can be the lowest. If Rahul's number is something like 40, then Yuvraj may not be the lowest. So if you see the numbers, these are varying from 23 to 51, 33 to 55. There are some or the other numbers which can take the lowest value of all three in this case. So we cannot say exactly who is the lowest. Any of these three can be the lowest. So answer is, you can see the answer for me here will be only Khaif or Rahul or Yuvraj, because all three of them have equal chances of being the lowest. You can see this once again, all of you, in a quick manner. Suppose if my number here is 34, then 33 is the lowest. If my number here is 48, then this person is the lowest. So like that, I cannot say exactly who is the lowest. So all three of them have a fair chance of being the lowest. Okay, that's your question. Next one, if you see, so how many players among the listed definitely scored less than Yuvraj in the tournament? So I need to know what is the total of Yuvraj in the tournament for that matter. Okay, so let us understand what is the total of Yuvraj. So Yuvraj total is something, you can say, add all these numbers, consider if the Yuvraj is 0 over here. What is the minimum value of Yuvraj total? I'll get it. See, please understand, if Yuvraj has scored a minimum value taking 0 and other players are less than the total which I got it by taking 0 here. Please understand why I am taking 0. I am trying to get the least total of Yuvraj, which is 127. Or I'll take it here. It is 127. 40 plus 87 and 0 here is 127. If I can find out the highest value of the other players, which is less than 127, then I can say definitely that player is going to score less than Yuvraj in the tournament. For example, 28, 51 and 48. I am taking the highest value possible for Khaif. Highest value possible. 48 plus 51 is going to be 99. 99 plus 28 is 127. Now the highest total of Khaif and the lowest total of Yuvraj both are same. Now unfortunately or fortunately, maybe if Khaif scored 127 and Yuvraj also scored 127, then I cannot say Khaif is definitely less than Yuvraj in the tournament. He can be equal to Yuvraj also, cannot be definitely less. So let us leave it. Next, here are, if you get the total highest numbers, 55 and 22 is 77. 77 and 49 will be something like here 126. So here the highest total of Rahul is 126, whereas the least total of Yuvraj is 127. So definitely Rahul will be less than Yuvraj for sure. So this is the first case I got where I can say definitely less. Next, Saurav, if you say 2275 is going to be 97. 97 and 50 is going to be 147. Definitely this person will not be less than Yuvraj for sure. Minimum value of Yuvraj is 127. Anything less than that is definitely less. Then again 130 plus 48 plus 48, if it is say 96, 48, 48, 96, and then 130 will be something around 226. So this is 226 and definitely not less than Yuvraj. So how many players are definitely less than Yuvraj was the question. There is only player, you can see Rahul, who is definitely less than Yuvraj in the total tournament, including all the totals of the players. Okay, so answer is only one player we have. So my answer to this is your second option. Next, coming to this, which of the following players had the best M index from the tournament, he said. Best M index from the tournament. Who has got the best M index in the tournament? Other three people I cannot find out. If I wish to find also, then what will be the best index here? Okay, highest value. You can say, suppose if I take a 0 here for example, then the middle value will be 28. Fine. So middle value can be possibly 28. Now anything above 28 if I take, like for example 29, 30, 31, 32, up to maximum what I can take, 48. Now 28, 51, 48, exactly the middle one can be 48 in that case. Okay, so I got a range here from 28 to 48. A range of 28 to 48 is what I got it here. So you can say this is 28 to 48. Here I got exact value 49. Here I got exact value 50. Now here if I take 0 and here if I take 48, then 48 will be the exact number possible. It could be 48, 47, 46, anything. The maximum is 48. So I can take less than 48 as any value which is possibly the middle value index number, which we don't know exactly. But if you are looking for the highest M index number, till now I got that number as 50, 48 is definitely not the highest. So I'm not worried about what all the other numbers can be possible here. Next, if you look at the last one in this case, if I take 0, then 40 will be the M index in this case. If I take 0. If I take 48, then 48 can be the M index. 48, 47, 46, 44, 45, all that numbers. But still, the highest number possible is 48, the least number possible is 40. You can say definitely 50 is the highest. So in all comparison of the ranges or whatever the fixed numbers I got 50 as the highest number, which is the highest index number. And who got that number? Saurav. So answer for me is Saurav in this case. So you can see this is exactly speaking not a great time consuming, but once I can crack this, once I get to used to, when some practice is done on this, definitely this sets we can handle it more efficiently. We'll have one more session on this, part 2. On that day, I'll give you good examples on the rest of the 3 types of contents. Okay, thank you all.